As the sun sets, the coffin lids rise, and the creatures of the night awake. We greet you. This is the Morning Show.
Here at the Morning Show, we strive to bring you the latest news, music, product, and entertainment reviews, travel, cuisine, and interviews with the people you loathe the most. But first, to see what the night shall bring, we go to our local lunatic. So what's the foreshadowing forecast, Adelaide?
1st of August is a waxing crescent moon. It is in the astrological sign of Libra.
You cut out the first line there, sweetheart. You got to do it again. Jacqueline? Jack, can you still hear me?
I can. I don't know about her.
You can. Yeah, she did cut out the first line. Did you hear her? Did you hear the lunar phase for tonight? Wait, that lunar phase is marked for Friday the 1st of August. It's the wrong date. Are we start doing this tomorrow? Like we're
You're
airing
right.
tomorrow, right?
You're right. I must have screwed up the date. Saturday, the 2nd of August.
Yeah. So? Is it still a waxing crescent in the sign of Libra?
It's still waxing crescent. I don't know about the Libra part.
Okay. Can you check that for me? I can't make the adjustments from my side. I don't have a keyboard.
Yes, I can. I can check
Sorry.
it. I mean, it takes a bit, but I can check it, yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to that part, okay? I think we might have lost her again. She's still showing. Hey, Jacqueline, honey, if you can hear us, could you do me a favor and type in the Facebook chat to tell us what's going on? Hello? Yes, we lost her.
Okay, so the 2nd of August, 2020, Saturday. It's a waxing crescent in the sign of Libra. So we're good.
It still is. Okay, it was just the date.
Yeah.
All right.
I just screwed up on the date. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, the show used to be
Jacqueline,
on
did you
Friday.
get back in? Yeah, it did. So it makes sense that you would put it there. It's okay.
Yeah,
Jacqueline, honey, can you hear us?
I still think the show's on Friday. I apologize.
You're
Show
fine.
should still be on Friday.
Jacqueline? Jacqueline, are you there? If you can hear us, we can't hear you. You need to type into the Facebook.
You guys
Type
can
into the
have a
Facebook
chat.
chat to let us know what's going on.
Hello?
There you are, honey.
I'm back. I made a little boo-boo on the moon phase thing. If you could reread that with the now fixed script, it would be appreciated. I apologize.
It's Saturday the 2nd, so.
Yep.
Jacqueline?
Hello?
Yeah, we hear
me?
you, honey. What's going on? We can hear you now.
Are we actually already in Libra?
Yeah, we're in Libra.
Are we? Okay. All right. You want me to reread that?
Yep.
Yes. It's Adelaide.
The lunar phase for tonight, Saturday, let me start over on that. The lunar phase for tonight.
You cut out, honey. We can't hear you.
Crest.
You cut out. Sweetheart, you cut out. You got to start over.
Hello?
Jack, can I call you back? Oh, there you are. Honey, can you hard connect into your modem?
I don't have a way to.
Okay.
I asked her that question last week.
So you don't have an Ethernet cable to do that with?
No.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and read the lunar phase again.
Okay. The lunar phase for tonight, Saturday, the 2nd of August.
If you take all our ads and put together, we actually have it.
What?
We
You
didn't hear you
cannot.
at the end of it.
We didn't hear you after the word August, but if we take your first recording of it and we take this one, we have it. So I think we have it.
Do you just want to edit those two together?
Yeah, I am. Because if I do it, we have it. We,
Okay.
Okay.
but yeah,
Uh,
we didn't get you after the word August. After the word August, you vanished, which
Okay.
all right.
that makes me highly worried about your future readings. But we'll address that 2 stories from now.
It's all
Okay.
good. It's all good. Okay.
So now I have to do the intro to the morning news, and then you do the convergence one. So
Okay.
Libra, the scales. Yes, well, and that
We're
takes us
talking about
to.
snake scales, or are we talking about?
Ooh, I think justice, actually. I'm not sure.
Oh well.
Serpentine. But it's funny to me whenever I think of serpentine, I think of the one that's near Halloween. Even though that's probably not related either to serpents. I don't.
Scorpio.
Scorpio,
It was
yes.
Scorpio.
I
Mm,
don't
my hus
know.
my husband is a Scorpio.
Even though
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
serpents, but okay. Yes, but
No, there is one. There is one that is now. Remember the 13th sign that got added a few years ago?
oh yes,
Is,
that
are
much
they
Yeah.
time.
aren't they?
It's called Ophiuchus.
Is it a
That's it.
snake?
I think it is.
Hmm.
Ophiuchus,
I'm
Ophiuchus
sorry.
is the sign of the healer. Its symbol is the doctor logo with
Um,
the serpent going up the, what is it?
Hippocrates staff. The Hippocrates staff.
yes.
Yes. Yes, that.
Well, anyway, now we are brought to the morning news.
All right. Well, this week they have officially announced the hotel for Convergence for the hold on.
You skipped me.
I just completely fucked that up.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I don't mean to swear. All right, so Alt Gothic presents Convergence 21. It's going to be at Dead Stars in Hollywood on May 1st through the 3rd, 2015, so it's going to be next year. Now, they officially announced the hotel for Convergence. Now, it would be the infamous Hollywood Tower Hotel. However, due to safety and haunting concerns, it has actually been changed to the Andaz Hotel. The legendary Bordners will be the venue of the scene's decadent shenanigans. Now, the schedule will be Friday, May 1st. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this actually starts the day after my birthday, so a part of me kind of wants to go. The schedule will be Friday, May 1st, which is a meet and greet. You're gonna have bands and DJs. You're gonna have then the second, which is May 2nd. There's gonna be shows once again, bands and DJs at Bordner's. And then Sunday, May 3rd, is going to be a Gothic picnic at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. It's still with the art department, but that cemetery, that picnic is what I would be looking for. Now you're also going to be dealing with sorry, my throat kind of died there for a minute. And banshees and germs, and banshees and germs and boys and ghouls. Please don't think Sunday is the time to dress down because they are bringing back a Convergence favorite. Sunday night they shall give you the Dead Stars Masquerade Ball at Bordner's. After all, dead stars will burn and burn brightest when they die. So converge for a night of Hollywood decadence with ghosts of the golden age and a soundtrack from your favorite DJs. Come dressed as your favorite dead star from Hollywood's past, be that a celebrity, a character, or an era. Now, this is a formal event, and themed costumes and or masquerade attire are suggested. If you do not have proper attire, they will provide masks for free of charge at the door. This is a chance to show off your best attire and end the weekend with a big bang. Some of the people involved in Convergence this year are Voodoo, Lieutenant Hoya, can't speak today. Some of the people involved in Convergence this year are Voodoo, Lieutenant Hoya Rock and Rolla. Am I saying that right, Jack?
Hola?
I think
Jack,
she's talking to me.
am I saying that right? See, I'm
Uh,
talking to Mr. Kemplin.
yeah,
Mm.
I believe it's just
Okay.
LT.
Okay.
Those are two different people, LT
Oh, LT, okay.
and Jola Rock and Rolla.
Jola Rock and Rolla, okay. Okay, some of the people involved in Convergence this year are Voodoo, LT, Jola Rock and Rolla, Billy Vogel, Marissa, Mistress Prin, Dwayne Brinson, Necromo Spiritus, Giles Smith, Batty of Azrael's accomplice, and CCLI's Miss Stasha and Archpope, Miss Stasha and Archpope Dosh. Tickets are $60. You can find out more information at...
Stop.
Huh?
It's Doc.
Doc. Okay, I thought I was saying that wrong. Sorry about that. All right, and CCLI's Miss Stasha and Archpope Doc. Tickets are $60. Find information at altgoth.com /C21.
You cut out after saying tickets.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, hold on. Tickets are $60. You can find out more information at altgothic.com /C21HOL/.
In the future, you don't have to say /, just say /. It's true.
I know.
Well, especially for me because see.
Jacqueline, honey, it's your turn.
Oh well, actually, I want this contract will be in the show, but anyway, well, especially because I'm a Linux user, and in Linux we never use the /, so the / is just called /. So, besides, it sounds better.
As someone who
the makeup
helps
artist
elderly
on the...
Go ahead, honey.
Sorry.
Go ahead. You're fine.
Or
Go.
do you... Okay. All right. Dick Smith, the makeup artist on...
I feared that would happen.
Why don't we record our parts for now? Sweetheart, you keep cutting out really badly, so we're going to do a little bit more of... I think we should do a little bit more of our parts and come back to you, see how your network's doing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is that okay, honey?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to cut you out of it. When we talk, there's about 30 seconds before you acknowledge it, so I know there's a lag. I know there's that lag in between it.
Mhm. Okay.
So so you go ahead and read your part, and we can edit it around. So go ahead, Jack.
Do you want...
No, she meant me. She meant me, Morgan.
Morgan,
yeah,
okay.
She meant me. Morgan is Jacqueline's on-air name. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I will make sure to call her that from now on. Sorry.
Well, it just makes it easier considering that we're all J names here. Yeah.
I know.
Hey, you should have seen the show before you came on. Back whenever it was Darkest Jack and me, Jack Denier. That got confusing.
I can imagine.
I want to do a special show where it's Jack, Darkest Jack, and me. It'd just be beautiful.
That would confuse the hell out of your listeners.
I know. Jack, and Jack.
Ever living hell. Okay, let's go back to it. Come on.
Okay, so I'm going to do mine then.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, before I do mine, I've noticed you pronounce her name a little different than I. I say Eva Green. You said Ava Green. Which is it?
She's French, so it's Ava.
Are you absolutely sure? Because I've heard it pronounced Eva several times.
I'm thinking that Joey is actually...
I'm assuming... Well, I know she's from France. You can look it up on her Wikipedia page. They'll have the pronunciation.
Well, I've always
Jacqueline Morgan, will you look it up on the Wikipedia? Well, I mean, because they'll have it on there, and they'll have the proper pronunciation for her name.
I know I've always heard it pronounced Eva. Like every time I've ever heard it pronounced. So, I mean, if all the news and interview people call her Eva, I assume it's Eva. You know?
Well, yeah, no, I'm not arguing that. I say Ava because she was French, and so I'm assuming she pronounces it in the French way.
People who watch our YouTube version this week are definitely going to see the sausage being made.
Mm.
Is a French actress and model. She started her career before making. Swedish pronunciation. Oh, she uses the Swedish pronunciation. I guess that would be Ava.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She uses this, so she must be from the Swedish-speaking part of France.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, I haven't done that much in-depth research on her.
Yeah, it's because there's a part of France where they speak Swedish.
Well, I mean, there's a part of France where they speak German, so I mean,
Yeah.
it just depends on where it just depends on what other country they're connecting to at the time.
Well,
They're connected to.
yeah, in Sweden and Germany, it's Ava. That's
Mhm.
a fact because of course everyone knows Hitler's wife was Ava Braun, so we know that must be Ava at that point.
So we
Okay,
could okay. So
I'll
yeah.
pronounce it as Ava then. It's just new to me, that's all. Okay, so here we go. Ava Green is in talks to reunite with director Tim Burton for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, set for release on July 31st, 2014. It is based on the Ransom Riggs young adult novel, which follows a teenage boy who is transported to an island where he must help protect a group of orphans with special powers from creatures out to destroy them. Ava Green, who will play the headmistress of the orphanage, previously worked with Tim Burton on 2012's Dark Shadows film. The actress currently stars on Showtime's Penny Dreadful. Oh, by the way, we forgot to do the commenting on Convergence. Remember, we're supposed to comment on the news stories. So,
I think we're good on that. I mean,
well,
I mean, I think
I'm going to do a comment on Convergence, and then if you want, you can do a comment on the Ava Green story. But I do have something I want to say about Convergence. Okay? Yeah, that was I forgot. My fault. Anyway.
you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, you know, there's an old saying that every goth should go to Convergence, and every goth should go to Project Fest and Wave Gothic Treffen and all those things like that. And I've actually never had the opportunity to go to Convergence, but I would love to. And I mean, Hollywood is not that far away from me, you know, and it's not that expensive, only $60. And I would absolutely love to go to that Dead Stars Masquerade Ball. That sounds like it's a lot of fun, and it's put on by a lot of really great people. I mean, I know Batty; she's a wonderful person. I love the clothing put out by Asriel's Accomplice, and I was a huge fan of Closed Caskets for Living Impaired, also known as CCLI, which is the longest-running goth industrial radio show. It ended a few years ago after 15 years on the air. Both Miss Stasha and Archpope Doc were hosts of that show, and I know several others of the people involved in it, like Necromos Spiritus and some of the others. And so I would really love to attend. I think it's really great.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my cons, but I mean, right now I'm actually hoping to go to Phoenix FearCon this October because I'm going to be moving here to to Portland or Seattle. I haven't decided which one yet. Most likely Portland by March. So I actually did want to go to Phoenix FearCon before that. Part of it's because I actually have a friend who always works a horror makeup booth there, and she is just absolutely amazing at what she does. So I'm hoping to, go to Phoenix FearCon. Convergence sounds like a lot of fun, but, when it comes to conventions, I'm very, because horror conventions, I'm actually not a fan of horror conventions of all things. Even though I love horror, I'm not, the darker thing. I like them, but sorry,
But
go ahead.
Convergence is not a horror convention. Convergence is a gothic meet and
Well,
greet.
no.
It has nothing to
Well,
do with
yes,
horror.
I understand that. I mean, I'm very, no, it doesn't, and you're right. I'm not as much. I'm more. I'm different. I know there's more of a there's a different kind of. I'm trying to put. How do I put this? I don't really like a lot of the Hollywood glitz and glam mixing with the goth. I'm more of a darker. I like more of my darker elegance away from a lot of the more popular Hollywood culture. That's probably why I would never go to Convergence. That's just me personally. But I'm pretentious like that. So yeah.
Maybe next
So I
year.
mean, it sounds like fun, but I don't think I would have fun.
Yeah. Well, then maybe next year would be better for you because Convergence changes the towns that it's in every year. Last year it was in, I think, Chicago. It's also been in New Orleans a few times. It's been in Seattle. Like 3 years ago or something, Convergence was in Seattle. So maybe when it's in Seattle, obviously it'll be less Hollywood, and then you might want to go.
Yes, and see, if it's something like that, it really would just depend on the theme of the year. I mean, that's probably how I would view it. It would be if the theme is something I would enjoy doing and I would like, I would definitely, do my best to be a part of it. But I mean, because the Gothic culture is so varied, especially depending on the city it's in, I can imagine, New Orleans Convergence it's going to be very different than Hollywood Convergence. I mean, and Boston Convergence, So I could imagine New Orleans, definitely them taking up a lot of the French stuff, a lot of the vampire stuff, maybe some ghost pirates. It would just really depend on it, and I would definitely have to really see what they're doing because I'm weird, and I have to, like, if I'm going to spend money to go do something because I'm a Torres, and that makes me kind of miserly with my cash, I would have to know I'm going to have fun. So yeah, that's me and my pretentious penny pinching. So, do you mind if I? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else to say about Convergence? I was going to say something about the Ava Green thing, but did you want to say something about Convergence first?
Yeah. Well, actually, in a way, you touched upon the whole point of Convergence, and that is Convergence. The reason why it moves from town to town is because it celebrates local scenes. I know that about 5 or 6 years ago, they had Convergence in a city down in Mexico because Convergence is all about celebrating the beauty of the individual goth scenes that it goes to, and about uniting goths from all over the world and showing them the beauty of certain local scenes. That's a part of what Convergence is about. And Convergence has been going on for 21 years now, and so it's been going on longer than some little baby bats have been born.
It's been going on since I was in preschool. It sounds like. All right. May I have something? Can I respond to the Ava Green story now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I didn't know if you're done. Okay, all right. Well, I am always, I am such a fan of Ava Green. I have been a fan of hers for quite a while. I saw her in Camelot. I've seen scenes from her. She's in the new 300 movie. She's in all of this. She's really starting to kind of come out and about, and it's interesting because I didn't originally when I watched Dark Shadows, I didn't realize that was Ava Green. It took me a while to realize it because when she's got the blonde hair and it's just she looks
You cut out.
she really did.
You cut out.
Sorry,
You cut out.
sorry. I didn't realize Ava Green was actually Angie the first time I saw the Dark Shadows movie because and it's weird because she does have such a beautiful and unique face that you would catch it, but I think the makeup artist on that movie was so good. He was very good at hiding, kind of really making her look so normal every day. Where it took, which I love, and a good makeup artist can make the most beautiful faces look like everyone else's. They don't always have to make the most normal faces look like something different. So I was very surprised to find that out about her. But I'm definitely looking forward to this movie, mainly because I loved the book so much. And I'm really hoping she does it justice. I'm sure she will. I'm a little worried about Tim Burton, though. I mean, I'm always a little wary when it comes to Tim Burton adaptations, because he tries to be funny, but he doesn't, you know what I mean? He always tries to have a little bit of his humor in it, but I'm always a little wary about it, because he's very hit and miss at this point. He has his moments, and like we've discussed in the past, I'm Alice in Wonderland. Anyway, but I'm definitely looking forward to her. I love her and Penny Dreadful. I think Penny Dreadful.
Not with like we've discussed in the past.
Huh? Oh, like we've discussed in the past. Well, like we've discussed, Tim Burton in the past, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna go there. I am definitely a huge fan of Ava Green. I love her in Penny Dreadful. I think I just shows what a varied actress she is, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how well she can pull this off, which I have no doubt she can. So.
Yeah, Tim Burton is notorious for never reading the source material or anything about the films that he directs beyond the script.
And that is so obvious when you watch Batman Returns. I loved his first Batman movie, but when he did Batman Returns, I was very upset, because I am such a Catwoman fan, and Catwoman is not some wilted flower who gets killed by man and then becomes a man-hating misandrist. She is a martial artist, judo-knowing kid from the streets of Gotham City. who steals from the rich and gives. She's very Robin Hood in her own little way. And so when even as a 6-year-old, when I first saw that movie, I was incredibly disappointed with Catwoman. And so I'm always kind of iffy about his female characters, especially. So I'm hoping he does it well. I don't have a lot of faith in him when it comes to that, but I'm hoping. So yeah, fingers crossed on that one.
Yeah, and I loved Batman Returns. It's actually still my most favorite Batman movie. Although I do acknowledge that the Catwoman in that film has very little in common with the Selina Kyle in the books, and also including the fact that he made her a blonde, in which she's a brunette in the book, and also she's rather wealthy in the books as well, whereas she was a secretary in that. But I mean, even in the first Batman film, he was not. He was not faithful to the Batman books in that year. He's not.
He wasn't, but see, he made it work, and that was the thing. Like Vicky, that's the thing. He made it work very well in that book, in that movie. He made it work. He made it work because he kept with the darkness, and he kept with the darkness in the second one. But I feel like, to me, it felt like, with Selina Kyle, and I think part of it is understanding, especially as a young girl when you're growing up, is that Catwoman is the character most little girls love, because she's not good and she's not bad. She's a very human character, and on top of that, she's a multiracial character. She's been played by actresses of all color. She's been played by a black actress. She's been played by a white actress. She's been portrayed in Japan as a Japanese actor. You know what I mean? It's one of she's become a character that all little girls, regardless of their color or their origins or anything, can kind of adapt with, because she's not good or bad. She's very human. And a part of me felt like he took her humanity away and just made her a man-hater. And that was very upsetting, because there are two ways, there are many ways to dehumanize a character, and I felt like he did that by taking away her multi-layers. And he didn't have to make the movie about her to do that, because I know he can do it. I've seen him do it. And that's what very much upset me, and I know that's actually part of the reason a lot of comic book fans have a love-hate relationship with that movie. So.
Well. I love that movie.
So
you cut out and we didn't get anything of what you just said.
I said on my little feminist tirade.
No, it's all right. I love that film. I know that the penguin in that is nothing like the actual penguin in the comic books, but I really don't care. I love that film. Uh, that being said, of course, the story here is on Ava Green, and I agree. I love her in Penny Dreadful. I've loved her since the moment I saw her in that film about the students that were in France. I forget the name of the film, but it's a lovely film.
I'm
Do
not.
you
I'm not sure about. I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
it's I can't remember, but it's rated NC-17, and so it's not for the kiddos, but it's a really nice film. What'd you say?
I said I can't imagine it would be at that rating.
Yeah, no, it's a really great film. It takes place during some times of upheaval in France, where there's a lot of protests and stuff, and basically a college man moves in with her and her brother, and he thinks that her and her brother are having incestuous relations, but it turns out that she's a virgin and she loses her virginity to this guy who moves in with them, and they eat food from the trash and they take part in the revolution. It's a
Sounds
very what?
sounds extremely artistic.
It's a very provocative film. I love it, but I'm a weird provocative guy, so. But I've loved her ever since that moment. And then, as I've already said, I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton's Dark Shadows. I think it's a great parody, but I was hoping for something a bit, not parody whenever I originally watched it. So, I don't have much to say of her performance in that film, but I love her in Penny Dreadful. I have not seen Camelot. I know a little bit about her performance in it, but not too much. I have not seen the new 300, but I've seen her in a few things, and I really like her. So
Oh,
yeah.
I was
So
gonna say Camelot. I mean, she plays Morgan Le Fay in Camelot, and she plays it well. You know, she's very good at playing the darker. She's very good at playing the witch. She's very good at playing the magic user. She's very good at playing that character. She's just very good at invoking all of that, and I mean, and she does. I mean, she's so good at that, and you come across so many characters, so many actresses who try to play that character that they can't do it. They just can't. And she kind of reminds me of Angelica Houston in that matter. Like she's got Angelica Houston. She can be very almost hypnotizing with her performances. She can play the darker magic characters. She can play those characters. Ava Green to me is very similar to that. She has that darker performance ability that Angelica Houston does.
I like her way better than Angelica Houston, honestly.
I love a lot of. I mean, I love Angelica Houston. I mean, I do. I think they both do great. I mean, honestly, but I can see where you would say that. Yeah. So, hold on, really quickly, Morgan, honey, can you hear us? Because I know you keep coming in and out. Are you able to hear us?
I've
Okay, you cut out again.
That was a terrible test.
Yeah, I figured
I've
we should at
heard
least
most of
try
the
it.
conversation.
Okay. Do you want to try to to throw some in with it now, or I mean, do you want to try to read yours? We like just try to read like the first paragraph and see what we can do with it.
Well, right now we're at the time for you to read, but I wanted
Well, yeah.
to I wanted to finish up the Ava Green thing.
I wanted to say
Okay.
in regards. Wanted to say in regards to convert.
Say that
Well, tough. You can't say anything in regards to anything.
again. Don't freak out, honey.
It's
What would you like to say about convergence? Let's try it.
I wanted to say about Convergence that I've always wanted to go see a movie. They screen movies.
I'm sure they do. Oh, this is not gonna work.
This is awkward.
No, it's not awkward. It's just not going to work.
Okay, let's keep going.
She didn't
Keep
have
going.
strong.
Hopefully,
So Now I want to say that my false sense for the Ava Green one. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Can I go into horns now?
No, I have to say a final thing on Ava Green.
Oh, sorry, sorry.
You
Are
cut
you
me
done?
off.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm excited to see how she does in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I'm sure she'll do good. Just like you, I'm not sure about Tim Burton. I love almost all of Tim Burton's early stuff, although even a few of his earlier stuff was hit and miss for me. And then a lot of his recent stuff, it really has been like every other film, and so I hope it's a good film, and I can't wait to see Ava in something.
Yes, exactly. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Um, am I good to go to the next part?
Yes.
The trailer for Alexander Aha's, am I saying his name right? Alexandre? Is it Alexandre?
Well,
Is it Alexander or Alexandre?
looks like Alexander.
Okay. The trailer for Alexander Aha's Horns officially premiered at the film's panel at the San Diego Comic-Con Monday afternoon. Starring Daniel Radcliffe and based on the novel by Joe Hill, Horns follows the misadventures of Ig Parrish, who is accused of rape and murder of his girlfriend, just as he sprouts devil horns on his forehead. It is set to come out on Halloween of this year. Now, I haven't read the book yet. I really do want to. I've heard of this movie for a while now, and I've really wanted to read the book. It's on my list because, like you, I am a college student, and unfortunately, assigned reading always comes first. But I definitely would like to look into this one. I mean, obviously, I'm sure the horns are an allegory. They always are when it comes to situations like this. But to me, Daniel Radcliffe, and we were talking earlier, before earlier in our while we were getting set up about The Woman in Black, which is another horror movie Daniel Radcliffe played in. And I kind of like how he's really been kind of like pushing the envelope and definitely trying to leave Harry Potter behind. And like The Woman in Black, he did very well with that. And I told you earlier, like I cannot sit at home alone and watch that movie. And I used to work as an actress in a haunted house. So I cannot do that. I used to get dressed up. They used to put me in makeup. I used to spend the night scaring the living hell out of people. And I cannot watch his performance in that. And so I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I cannot wait.
Can you
You cut out again, Joseph. You cut out again.
are you able to hear me?
No.
Yes, we heard you then.
The answer is yes, but you always keep cutting out.
Jacqueline, I mean Morgan, why don't you, I know you can't hardwire into your modem, but can you get closer to it?
That would help.
It's just on the
Finish.
other side of the wall from me.
Well, yeah, but that wall could hinder the signal. I mean,
Yes.
are you and Matt able to switch places? Like, if you go
No,
into the room, you go out in the living room?
no.
Okay.
Last
And
week,
there's no way for you to bring the modem into your room?
no, probably not. Last week I asked her because last week he was playing games. I said, "Are his games using the internet?"
That's what I was thinking, because if it's a
Yeah,
bandwidth issue.
yeah, that's what I was. That I asked her that last week too. Um, but
Jack, is it okay if I cut out of the recording for a minute to call her
well,
and just check on her real quick?
um, well, here's what I was going to suggest, and that is, once we get off the air tonight, I think we have to. I hate to say this while we're on the recording, but I don't have a choice. I think we should have a discussion on whether right now is a good time for
Well, I
Jacqueline to be
think
in.
let me call her. Can I get off the phone and talk to her very quickly? Let me get off
Yes,
and talk to her.
yeah, just not. I'll have
All
to
right,
entertain the YouTubers while you're gone.
that's fine.
I've done it before. Whew. Now they're both gone. It's only me, YouTubers. Well, since, if I recall, this allows for 8 hours of recording, I can be here all night long. If you're wondering why I seem to have my eyes closed throughout most of the show, I've had a eye infection for the past 2 weeks. I got at college. It's not red eye or anything. It's just, I don't know what it is, but I need to rest my eyes. So that's why my eyes seem to be closed throughout a lot of this, is because I've been working so on the show that I haven't been able to get the rest to actually get them to heal. As for why I've been working on the show so much, well, as you can see, there's a lot of hectic behind-the-scenes stuff going on right now. Hosts leaving, new hosts coming, new hosts having issues, other issues with some of their hosts that, life is throwing us all into bad situations right now, including an eye infection for me in both eyes. So, yeah, that's how it is, my little YouTubers. That's how it is. Yeah. So, as for my take on horns, because Morgan cut in before I could give my take, but I should probably wait until Lena gets back so that she can hear my interpretation, shouldn't I? I don't want to have to say it twice. Well, anyway, she's gone, talking to Morgan right now. Morgan is clearly having internet issues, and we might have to replace her as a host, even though I didn't want to say that on the air. But I think it's clear to anyone who's listening that there's a problem. It's not necessarily with her; it's just with her internet connection. So right now might not be the best of time. I wanted to have my cousin Chesney be a host, but she can't either for somewhat similar issues. On hers, it's that she doesn't live alone, and she's afraid her family would constantly interrupt the radio show, even though I think that fear is silly, but, whatever. It may be the case. Maybe her family is that terrible to her. Would not be that strange. She wouldn't be the first to come in with family issues. So, so we're in need for hosts. New hosts, guys, new hosts. So anyone out there in YouTube land wants to be a host, let us know. I should probably post on Facebook right now saying that we need at least one new host or more. Not because we're going to replace Lena anytime soon. It's just because we're allowed to have 3, 4, or 5 hosts. So why not? Why not say that we're looking for multiple hosts? It might be a 2-person show tonight. Yes, my little YouTubers, I'm going to bore you now. I'm going to bore you to death. At least there'll be some mourning for you. Oh, I did recently post in a group. We got a discussion group. My eye infections hurt so bad. The morning show That's right. For some co-hosts. Co-hosts. It's hard for me to type with my eyes closed. Mojo is in for some new co-hosts. All you need is a phone and an internet. Mojo. Morning Show is looking for some new co-hosts. All you need is a microphone and an internet connection. If you are interested, let us know. Okay, so post. Okay, so that's posted. I'm just waiting for Josh. She's probably talking to Jacqueline right now. Depending on where her stories are, I feel like just reading off all the band tour dates right now and going, oh, done. That's all we really need to do, yeah. Looks like we're gonna have a, yep, hi.
Hello.
Okay, Morgan, are you there?
Yes, are you able to hear me?
We can hear you better than we could. You're still cutting out a little bit, but not as bad.
Well, she hasn't spoken enough yet for us to actually know.
Okay. Well, I got him to detect.
Why don't you read your part? Read your part, and we'll go from there.
My story?
But wait, before she reads that, I want to comment on horns.
Well, let's do that later. Let's make sure she has a good connection first.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want me to start in on the Dick Smith story?
Sure, go ahead.
Yes.
All right. Dick Smith, the makeup artist on The Exorcist, Dark Shadows, Scanners, and more, died on the 30th of July at age 92. Although his contributions to sci-fi, fantasy, and horror are immense. Active as a makeup artist.
Start the second paragraph again.
Yeah, you cut out the second paragraph.
Okay. Although Smith won an Oscar for his makeup work on the period epic Amadeus, his contributions to sci-fi, fantasy, and horror are immense. Active as a makeup Hollywood artist in Hollywood from 1941, Smith's breakout work on Roald Dahl's hosted 1961 anthology, Way Out, which was then followed by memorable contributions to numerous TV shows, including the vampire soap Dark Shadows, where he depicted the rapid aging of Barnabas Collins. The early 70s put Smith on the map, both in genre with his shocking work on 1973's The Exorcist, the cracked lips and ghoulish power of Regan McNeil being one of horror's most iconic visuals, and at the cutting edge of mainstream cinema with The Godfather and The Taxi Driver. While the following decade saw him work on the likes of Scanners, The Hunger, Starman, and The Exorcist sequels. Speaking to the Washington Post in 2007, Smith's protege and makeup legend in his own right, Rick Baker, commented, "The Exorcist really was a turning point in makeup special effects." Dick showed that makeup wasn't just about making people look scary. Dick showed that makeup wasn't just about making people look scary or old, but had many applications. He figured out a way to make the welts swell up on Linda's stomach, to make her head spin around, and he created the vomit scenes. "Even when the characters were fantastically weird, I always tried to make them believable," said Smith in the same article. "Actors have to feel like they are the person they are portraying. I think my work has helped many to achieve that." Smith leaves behind him not just an incredible body of work, but a legacy through those he worked with, and those who he inspired will pay full tribute to his imagination and creativity for as long as there's a film.
You know, and Morgan, this is you know, you and I have talked because I know you were a theater nerd in high school, and you know, you were very much the performer and all that, and we met in working as actors, and I know that especially one of those you love to get in your role. You love to put on the makeup and the costume and just invoke the spirit of the character you are. And I think, and you know, especially when I would see you in the makeup chair at the haunted house, you just looked like you were becoming. And I think that's one of the great things about makeup artists is that they just help you become it so much. And you especially are very good at that.
Yeah, I've always loved playing dress up for as long as I can remember. I've always liked pretending that I'm someone other than myself, and I've always felt that my outward appearance was probably the best way to that.
Well, and makeup artists, whether they're doing something ghoulish or beautiful, they're making you into a work of art, and they're making you a living, breathing palette. And I think that's why so many people, I really do think they deserve more credit than they get.
They do. Not just makeup artists, but everyone who works backstage, the people who build sets, the people who sew costumes, they all are artists in and of their own right, in their own particular category.
Exactly, and that's why I love hearing about, you know, the things he did, because he wasn't just a makeup artist, he did all the other special effects, you know, kind of like Ray Harryhausen in his own way.
And even though you remember me muchly as being an actress, most of my high school theater activities was everything else backstage. I rarely got cast in anything because of my body type.
You were a costume mistress. Well, yes, and that was ridiculous,
I was a costume mistress?
You know, unfortunately. But you were a costume. Yes, no, I mean, it was unfortunate I mean, I understand where that's coming from, and I don't know. Go ahead, honey. Morgan? Did we lose you again? Jack, can you hear me?
Yes.
Jack Daniel? Okay.
Daniel,
sorry.
Hello?
Honey. Morgan, oh, there you are. We got you back. So you were a costume mistress.
I wasn't just a costume mistress. I was also a props mistress. I was a stage manager, a house manager. I did lighting and sound. I did makeup. I did everything.
And I think that a lot of times people don't understand the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and unless they've had to do it.
I actually sprained my ankle putting together the biography board.
It is definitely difficult, yeah. Okay. Yay, we got you on. All right, okay. What were you going to say about horns, Jack?
Well, shouldn't I comment
about horns?
Oh, no,
yeah, sorry.
Well, wait, shouldn't I comment on the dick one first? Then if you're really
sorry.
See, I should have done the horns one before we did dick, but okay. It's going to be like hell to add, but okay. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, he's obviously contributed a whole lot to many Gothic classics, and Dark Shadows, The Hunger, The Exorcist, and these all things are beloved by many Goths. So I'm not too much a fan of The Exorcist, but I do love The Hunger and Dark Shadows, and so his influence, has he has huge influences. If his protege is Rick Baker, I mean Rick Baker, wow. I mean, so if Rick Baker learned from this guy, that means this guy, as you said, his influence will go on throughout film history. And now my response to Horns, and that is, yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of Daniel Radcliffe's. I have not seen him in anything because I've never seen Harry Potter or anything like that. But that Woman in Black film that you mentioned, that sounds interesting. That sounds like a film that I actually want to see. So one of these days I'm going to have to take you up on that whole thing where you're too scared to watch it alone, and I'm actually going to have to watch it with you at some point. We have to arrange that because I have to see that.
It is a very good movie. But Daniel Radcliffe is a very good actor. That's the thing. People like to think, well, he's Harry Potter, but no, he's I've seen I've seen scenes of his Broadway performances. I've seen his darker stuff and some of his more independent stuff, and I mean he's just a good actor, and that's one of the great things about him. So
yeah, and I don't deny that he's a good actor at all. I've just never seen him in anything, and I mean. Is one of those reasons I haven't seen him because of Harry Potter. I mean, obviously that's typecasting, that's putting a stigma on him, and a lot of child actors have that problem, and I understand that. That being said, I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, and so maybe that is why I haven't seen him in anything, but I should not really place that stigma upon him because, of course, you should never judge an actor based on some child role that they had.
Mm-mm. Well, I think, regardless of what people like to think of Harry Potter, or people who, obviously I know there are people who don't like it. I think that's probably helped him because he worked with some of the greatest actors. I mean, worked with, see, my brain's going to die on their name.
Maggie Smith?
That's just how I'm, Maggie Smith.
Helena Bonham Carter?
He worked with, beg pardon?
Helena Bonham Carter?
Helena Bonham Carter, Ray Fiennes. Who played Sirius Black, Morgan? I know you know this.
Alan Rickman?
No, that he played Snape. Yes. No, Sirius Black. He played. Who played Sirius Black?
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. That's right.
So Gary Oldman, Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith. He's surrounded by great actors, and it's the same with Emma Watson. You see they grow up, and they've, I think being around such amazing actors has definitely helped them hone their talent, and they're both moving on to great things, and I really cannot wait to see him in this movie.
Emma Watson was amazing in The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
And I heard something recently about that actor who played the guy who ends up being the boyfriend of Emma Watson's character. I heard something recently about that actor too.
He takes his money to he bought an ice cream truck, and he just drives around England handing out free ice cream to children.
No, that's not what I heard. I heard something about him.
That's not what you read. Okay.
No, it's something about him in a recent movie where he's portraying a pretty important character in a recent movie. What is the name of that actor?
Rupert Grint.
Yeah. I heard something recently good about him, about a movie.
I'm to be honest, I'm not the Harry Potter fanatic I once was, so I don't obsessively follow the actors like I did when this movie series was still going on. But I mean, I think they're all very good actors. I think, Tom Felton is also a very good actor. He played Draco Malfoy. I think, and I really do think all of those child actors, like I said, I feel like, being around so many great actors, they've really kind of come into their own, and they've all really in their own way been able to leave those characters behind and become their own, become something more. And to me, this movie is great proof of that. I cannot wait to see it. Morgan, I hope to see it with you at some point, because I know you're a Daniel Radcliffe fan as well, so.
And not only that, but also Also,
You cut out again, my love.
You know, while we were talking earlier, she did vanish, so she might vanish again.
Yeah, it seems like she's getting a better signal though.
Yes.
I have to sniffle. My allergies are bad tonight. My allergies are always bad.
My whole body's bad tonight.
There you are. Are you back with us, my love? Or did she just leave?
She just left.
Okay.
It's her connection dying. I've had nights like that too. I don't know if you were already one of the hosts. Oh, I think it was your first night, maybe. Remember that one night
Yeah,
where
remember?
I could not stay on. She's back.
Oh, yeah, and then the
all
week
right,
after that. Are
I'm
you back,
back.
Morgan? Okay.
I'm back.
Yay! Okay, so we were saying, I mean, I know you're a fan of Daniel Radcliffe like I am.
Oh,
We lost you again. You were doing so well, too.
If she continues to have this problem, then
I have a feeling. I have a feeling. It'll be fixed in the next couple of weeks. I'm not particularly worried.
that's all
I'm not particularly worried about it.
I'm talking about if she continues to have the problem tonight, you and I are just gonna have to do the show. You realize that, right?
That's fine. I mean, she did get some of the news in, so.
You got what? She got
But yeah, I think.
so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna cover the rest if she keeps.
You want to just move on, and we'll do the Evil Dead if she can get back in.
We're at the point where we kind of have to because it's 12.
can you hear me?
Finally.
We can hear you, honey. Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to really quickly read through my Evil Dead story?
If
So that way we can be done with me?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. More than 3 decades after the horror classic Evil Dead sprang forth from the Necronomicon to spawn 2 sequels, countless comic books, and a 2013 reboot, the franchise will return as a TV series. Campbell made an appearance in the 2013 Evil Dead reboot in a scene after the credits, lifting his head from the darkness and saying his classic line from Evil Dead 2, "Groovy." After a voice-over recited this pretentious line from the first film, "I have seen the dark shadows moving in the woods, and I have no doubt that whatever I have resurrected through this book is sure to come calling for me." Some suggest that the cameo foreshadowed Campbell's return to the film series, though currently no other film sequels appear to be in the works. Sam Raimi recently revealed that he is working on writing a TV series along with his brother Ivan and Bruce Campbell. He said that if Bruce Campbell is able to star in the series, then Raimi will also direct it.
Well, and one of the interesting things about this is that movie, the new one, wasn't actually a reboot. What they were originally going to do with it was it was basically another story that was going to be connected to the Necronomicon, and Raimi was going to have Campbell's character come in and meet up with this other woman, and apparently they were going to come together in a final movie, but it just never happened. So I'm hoping it will in the TV series. So.
Yeah, I would like to see an Evil Dead TV series as well. I love the stage musical, Evil Dead. I've seen it multiple times live. It's really great. My at the time partner and I got covered in blood, stage blood. It was brilliant, and it was a whole lot of fun. And so I'd love to see a TV show of Evil Dead, and to re-enter the world of the Necronomicon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ironically, even though I probably get lots of boos and hisses from this, and I know I get this from you, Lena, I actually am not a big fan of Evil Dead. Although I do really like Bruce Campbell as an actor, I think he's amazing on The Burn Notice.
Yeah, well, and I know. Well, see, you're not a B movie fan like I am. I grew up loving bad movies. My mother would show me Ray Harryhausen movies and old 50s monster movies. And so I know you and I have that difference and I'm always driving you crazy. I'm always saying, watch this movie. It's so bad it's good. And it drives you mad. And I know it does. But,
Not always.
that's
Not
the way I am.
Not always. I like B movies. I just am very, very picky about them, and I just don't particularly care for that one. And I think the thing is that it's
Go ahead.
I think the thing is that I find it to be slightly overrated.
Well, I think and I feel that movie as the reason The Evil Dead and The Evil Dead 2 became so overrated, I've always felt, is because it's connected to Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness, everyone loves. It's such a trope movie. Everyone loves it. And so, everyone's like, well, you have to understand what's happening. You have to see Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And so most people I know, they've never seen the Evil Dead movies, but they've seen Army of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the trilogy is so loved for Army of Darkness. I think the true B movie fans, I think the true Raimi fans are the ones who will sit through Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. And I think a lot of the
You think a lot of
Evil Dead and Evil Dead. You said I cut out?
Yes, you did.
Is that better? Okay. Well, I feel there's a certain amount of more silliness when it comes to the movie Army of Darkness versus Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. But I've always loved. I remember him in an early Sam Raimi TV show called Briscoe County Jr., where he played a sheriff. I was like 5 when this show came out. And he was in Hercules. He's always done Sam Raimi. I think anyone who likes his work should definitely look into his his biographies. He has this great story where he talks about how the Raimi brothers come and steal the pens from his house. It's hilarious. So I think everything about Bruce Campbell is amazing. So. Did I actually get? Hello?
You're still there.
Okay, I'm still here. Okay.
Yeah,
I was waiting. That's fine. I was waiting on your response actually.
I already responded, so I already respond. So.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yes. Okay.
Well,
Morgan, are you there?
Well,
I'm here.
Okay. Well, technically, she doesn't have to be right now, although if she wants to read the band concerts, we can have her do that. Although she was also supposed to read the Morgo Adler thing, but we can switch that to you, Joanna, if...
I'm here.
She can read the Margot Adler, and I can read the Vampire thing after it.
Well, that's how it was originally supposed to go, but considering her problems tonight, we don't know.
Well, no, I think... she's here. Let her read... Well, why don't you read Margot Adler and the Vampire thing can come after it?
Guys, before that, though, I have a suggestion. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Just in case we do lose Morgan at some point, I think we should have her read the very short band stuff for the music segment. Since everything's obviously out of order right now anyway.
Okay.
So, Fields in the
You're just going to have to play cut and paste with this whole thing?
Yes.
All right, well, let me go ahead and read the band.
Fields in the fill-in and front 242. And you want to read the Avenue Park thing too, didn't you? So, go ahead. Right when you are. Did you vanish again? Why you did?
What?
I'm waiting for her to read the band thing. Ooh, where'd you go? No, everyone left. I'm alone again. So lonely, oh so lonely.
Lost for a minute. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. She's been gone for 5 minutes now.
I think she's on mute. Is she on mute?
Well, if she is, then only one person put her on it because I
Hello?
don't. There you are. Read the band stuff.
Okay. Fields of Nephilim, Friday, August 15th, Northamptonshire, UK, at Altfest. Front 242, Tuesday, August 12th, Brussels Summer Festival. Friday, August 15th, Northamptonshire, UK, at Altfest.
Morgan, I'm sending you an Ethernet cable this week. I have like
I don't
7
think
of
that my
them.
laptop actually has. I don't think my laptop has an Ethernet port.
It does, I promise.
All right. And then the other part
Okay, read.
that I was going to say is, all right. So the other part is, also buy tickets early for these shows. Front 242, Wednesday, September 24th, New York, at Irving Plaza, Abney Park. Thursday, September 25th at 7 o'clock, Irving Plaza, New York, New York. Also featuring Woman, Frenchie and the Punk. Tickets available at concerts.livenation.com.
Say on woman again. You cut out on that one.
Okay, do you want me to just read that section again?
No, just say on woman.
On Woman.
There you go.
Just the word out of context is amusing, though.
Yeah, but
Okay, well,
I'll put it in context. She's a friend of mine. I wanted to get it correct, you know?
yeah, no, I know.
I didn't want woman, because before it was woman. What? As I
Okay,
want that woman.
why don't we have her read the Margot Adler thing right now?
All right. So, all right. Margot Adler, a recognized authority and longtime practitioner of neo-pagan spiritualism, died of cancer on Monday at her home in Manhattan. She was 68. Ms. Adler was a self-described Wiccan high priestess who adhered to the tradition for more than 40 years. She was the author of Drawing Down the Moon, Witches, Druids, Goddess Worshippers, and other pagans in America Today, a book that documented contemporary pagan movements and was credited with helping ignite interest in them. Richard Lingemann called it a comprehensive account, adding, "Given the lurid connotations the subject has acquired, Miss Adler's book stood as a healthy corrective." Her other books include Vampires Are Us, Understanding Our Love Affair with the Immortal Dark Side, published this year, and a 1997 memoir, Heretic's Heart, A Journey Through Spirit and Revelation. Ms. Adler was drawn to neo-paganism in the early 70s, she said, because its invocation of ancient goddesses appealed to her feminism and its ecological concerns resonated with her love of nature. In her sprawling apartment on Central Park West, she maintained a pagan shrine in her bedroom and had formerly helped lead a small coven in the living room. The Times reported in 1981. Ms. Adler's husband, John Lowell Gleedman, a psychologist and computer consultant and science writer whom she married in 1988, died in 2010. They are survived by a son, Alex Dillon Gleedman Adler.
And Morgan, I remember you actually introduced this book to me originally. I think you actually gave me a copy of it, which I actually lent to someone who was taking a class on paganism at the college and wound up never getting it back from her. But I know you and I have had discussions about this book, and I know you love to call it the most interestingly boring book you've ever read.
This is true. I think it's the most boring book that's hold on. It's the most boring, overrated, yet interesting and pertinent book that I think exists on paganism.
Yes, and it does. It reads like a textbook.
It really does. Like, I picked it up thinking that I was going to find the ritual for actually literally drawing down the moon. And instead, I'm reading about the early pagan movement and Gerald Gardner and
Yes,
the start of Wicca.
yes, and I mean it's definitely it's a great book for the knowledge and the history of it, but it isn't something you pick up if you want to read about something that's going on or something that's going to actually help you ritualistically. It is a book. It's a book written by it. I find it interesting, but you're right. It is kind of a boring read, and it is very pertinent. It is very useful. It's very interesting, and it reads in the words of you know, to quote the movie Beetlejuice, it reads like stereo instructions.
It so does.
Jack?
I would be more interested in her book Vampires Are Us, Understand Our Love Affair with the Immortal Dark Side. That sounds more like something that I'd be interested in. Although, are you guys telling me that that might also read like stereo instructions?
Possibly.
It's possible. I haven't read it, but you know, I can tell you that I have heard her interviewed on Druidcast, which is an amazing Druid-related podcast, and she is very eloquent, very well spoken, and she's full of amazing story, or she was full of amazing stories.
Oh yeah,
See,
that's
she
the,
has the. Sorry, go ahead, Jack.
oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so she has the ability to capture to she has the ability to capture your attention. It was just in this book she didn't necessarily do it.
Well, it was like her
Yeah.
book, wasn't it?
Well, and it was more of a knowledge. It was more knowledge. I mean, you have to look at the fact that you're dealing with a book that's all about the knowledge of a situation. It's not, you know, it's not going to be a novelization. There's not going to be the things that you would get in there. What she was writing was really an expose. So, a 300-page expose. Actually, like a 500-page expose. That book is huge.
It was
I think
the
it might
most
be as big
hefty
as
pagan book.
Travel One.
Yeah, it was. It was the same size book as the
Yes,
Mr. Babylon.
it was about 1,000 pages. But see, and that's the thing. In a lot
Hmm.
of paganism, in a lot of anthropology classes, actually in college, that book is actually reading. It's one of the included textbooks. It's not an official textbook, but it is considered, you know, required reading in a lot of those simply because there is so much information in it. It really is like a small textbook.
And actually, if you look at the footnotes in most other pagan books that are out there on the market today, that book is referenced in the footnotes on almost all of them.
Almost every pagan writer references that book. It really is the go-to. And I mean, she did so much research on it, and interesting or what she wrote or what she researched. But regardless of the situation, whether you agree with her historical findings or not, she still got you talking about it, and I think that's what's important.
I have
The
the
things that
answer.
she wrote about, even the
I have the answer on whether it's 300 or 500 pages, and the actual answer is it's 672 pages.
Not surprising.
uh-uh.
What were you
Even
going to say,
though
Morgan?
I was gonna say, even though she didn't necessarily put it in the most interesting format, what she said did need to be said.
I agree very much with that. And she was a crusader of her time, really, because you know she was someone, once again, the feminist ideals, the nature ideals. I mean, it's so honest, especially if you open the beginning in the first few pages. She talks about being on a commune where everyone gets together and they go and they pull in these nets of fish that they can't use to eat because they're done spawning, so they're dying. So the fish are too diseased for them to eat, but they're going to use them as fertilizer. And I'm like, that's amazing. And it's this whole scene. They're just like, well, of course, we're not going to let them go to waste. They're not just going to sit here and rot away. They need to be used. And it's like, because you live in Salt Lake City, Morgan. I lived in Salt Lake City. What happens to the brine shrimp every year? They just rot on the lake. No one ever uses them. They could be used for many things, but no one cares. They just let them rot and stink up the valley. So I mean, to me, that was a great thing about that book, to show even those little things that are us working together with everything else that we can too.
You cut out when you said the little things.
The little things that we can, even though we just choose not to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, except for I did briefly hear when you caught the word working together, and then in your retelling you didn't say working together.
I mean, hold on, let me get out of this area. Well, we work together, and even on the little thing, and it shows we can do it. We just don't always choose to do it. So, and that's what I like about that book. It's proof that it can happen.
Okay, so now we've covered all of Morgan's stories, right?
Yes, except for the recipe.
Well, I think at this point we can just say screw it on the recipe. I would love to see the recipe. The thing is, I can make this week's show a mini show again. I don't want to, but I can. You know what I mean? Because with all this editing, and my eyes being messed up, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my eyes have been pretty much closed this entire time. You know, with that and with how much editing that I have to do, there's no way that I can edit. With the mess that this show will take to edit, this might not even get out this week, which would be terrible for the concepts. I'm going to try and get it out this week, but this is just, you know.
Do you want to do the vampire stuff next week, like the vampire drinks next week, and do you just want to cut it and rest? Because we've done. I mean, I think we've done a lot with you can mix it, and we can work the rest of it in next week if you need us to.
Well, wait. Let me get back to the news story. Let's see. There's the vampire one. Is there anything other than the vampire one that we need to do as well?
That one very quickly right now, if you need it.
The NCIS one, which we can also do next week. That's no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, and so now at this point we just need to read the band stuff, and then I'm just going and then we can say our. Before we do that, while we still have Morgan here, we can read our exit stuff. Colley's exit stuff is still in here. Never mind. Morgan, say we're signing off. You're not gonna say it? Are you gone?
I've lost her. I think we lost her.
Fine, that wasn't needed. Okay, she can sign off all as your own side. Fine. Well, okay. Well then, it's okay. We can.
Now we are going to go cry in a corner.
It's okay.
Okay, reading check. Do you want me to put more into it?
You cut out in the middle of that, but it's okay. I have your pre-record of that from a few shows ago. It doesn't matter. We don't even have to record that part. Let's just, you and I, record the band parts and go to bed. Okay? So, I'll start with it. So, okay? I'm going to start.
Go ahead.
And upcoming shows include Pierre Murphy's upcoming tour dates are Tuesday, August 5th in Miami, Florida at Grand Central, Wednesday, August 6th in Tampa, Florida at the Orpheum Theater, Thursday, August 7th at Atlanta, Georgia at the Terminal West, Friday, August 8th, Charlotte, North Carolina at Trimmer Theater. Saturday, August 9th, Falls Church, Virginia at State Theater. And Friday, August 15th in Catterick, United Kingdom at the Alt Fest.
Also, the Combi Christ World Tour is continuing. August 8th, the Brutal Assault Festival in Josefov, Czech Republic. August 9th, 2014, at Mira Luna Festival in Hildesheim, Germany. August 10th, at Hirsch Nuremberg in Germany. August 11th, in Randall Bratislava in Slovakia. Discoteca Rock Planet in Cerviera, Italy. August 18th, Les Docks Lausanne in I'm probably completely destroying this. August 14th, in Les Docks Lausanne in Switzerland. Waschshop Frankfurt, Germany. August 16th, Tivoli Vredenburg, Pandora, Utrecht, Netherlands. And August 17th at the Altfest with the Cult in Arch in Kettering, United Kingdom.
And VMV Nation, Friday, August 15th in Kettering, UK at the Alt Festival on Botten Estate. And Saturday, August 16th in Königstein, Germany at Festung Königstein. And Alien Sex Fiend, Saturday, August 16th at the Alt Festival, Northampton, UK.
Also, if there is still any spots open, you will want to book for the Goth Cruise 20th anniversary from September 13th to the 21st. There, including on this will be Velvet Acid Christ, the Crook Shadows, Aria, Bellamorte, VNV Nation, and God Module.
Okay, good. That's a show. You know what I mean?
All right.
So
I
what?
will talk to you later. Yeah, good night. You get some rest and rest up your eye, okay, honey?
Yeah, actually it's both eyes, but mostly this eye, but also a little this eye. But anyway, I'm going to stop the broadcasting right now, but I do want to talk for just about a few minutes with you off air.